Who, What, Where, Why is an improv card game for adults. It helps us tap into our childhood imagination and play pretend. The rules are: number 1, grab 5 what cards, grab 3 who cards, and grab 1 where card. Select at least one of each card to identify who you are, what you have, and where you ended up. You can use all of them. Use your cards to come up with an imaginary scenario that explains how you got where you are and why. You can write them down on a side sheet of paper if it will help you remember. Each player may draw up to 3 why cards to help develop your story. Once everyone has their who, what, where, and why cards, go clockwise, revealing the cards you were dealt, and then tell each other your stories. Each player must rate every story from 1 to 10, and the story with the most points at the end wins. You cannot rate your own story. So for this game, the cards I was dealt was author, vampire, and ambassador. I don't think I'm going to use author in this story. I think I'm just going to stick to being a vampire ambassador. And let's see what items I have. I have rubber bands, a hula hoop, and a camera. And those are the ones I'm going to use. I got other things, but I'm not going to use them for this story. And let's see where I'm at. I am at the Olympics. Interesting. These things I can work with. So now I'm going to check out some questions I can use to further develop my story. And the questions I got were: did you kill anyone? Did you run into any problems? And who backstabbed you? Okay. I don't think I'm going to use all the questions, but I could use some of them. So, my story is: I was invited to the Olympics as an ambassador and unexpected vampire. And as I was admiring the hula hoop section of the workout room, I was taking my pictures in my camera, and I saw in one of the photos that there was an assassin outside the window about to break it and, come and get me. So he crashed through the window, but I was prepared because I had saw him. I turned around immediately, and he challenged me to a duel. I quickly reached for my weapon of choice, a hula hoop, and we went back and forth in battle until I captured him in my hoop. I whipped out my handy-dandy rubber bands that I had to tie his hands together before I interrogated him. Turns out there were 7 assassins on a hunt, and he was assigned to me. Thus began my mission. And that's the story. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, if I were playing with other people, we would go around and they would continue and tell their stories, and then we'd rate each other's stories from 1 to 10. I unfortunately cannot rate my own story, even though I think it was a 10. But yeah, that's how this game would go, and I think it's really fun. It helps adults use playfulness and brainstorming and just be creative overall in a fun, active way with friends. Who, What, Where, and Why by Adriana Barnes.